Here at Golfing World, we've been poring over the stats from last season on the PGA Tour and identifying the best players in every area of the game. We then asked them what they do which can help you. We're starting with driving, where DJ is the Tour's top performer.
The most important thing is hitting it solid. So for me, I do have some speed, but I try not to ever hit it hard. You know, I want to swing smooth and just make sure I catch it solid. If I hit it solid, it's going to go a long way. Also, there's a lot of, work to get there in the gym and, stretching, being more flexible. And obviously, the more flexible you are with the more strength, the further you can hit it. And especially into the wind, you always see everyone tries to hit it way harder just because it's into the wind, where you should actually go the opposite way. Maybe take one more club and swing smoother.
Next up is Henrik Stenson. The Iceman is a ball-striking machine, but it's taken hours on the practice range to get there.
I think it's just years of practicing, playing golf, hitting a lot of shots. I mean, you always kind of practice your timing and you strike by hitting golf balls. I think a sound technique obviously gonna give you advantages. The way I kind of want to see it is if I'm not on, I'm still going to be able to hit pretty good shots. If you're kind of within the perimeters and within the box, then you should still be able to produce some good striking, even though you might not be at your best. And then when you have that little bit extra, when you're feeling like you're on and things are in the right place, then that's when you can be really aggressive and start the ball on a tighter line for tougher pins and really try and stick a few in there. I feel like when I'm on with my striking, then hopefully I should have two kind of kicking birdies around. You hit a 9-iron, 7, 8-iron really tight and give yourself some easy birdie chances. But in terms of how to do it, I guess you just got to practice it. It doesn't come for free.
That's advice also given by the 2011 PGA champion Keegan Bradley, who's become a specialist at hitting accurate long irons.
I practice them a lot, and I make sure I know my numbers down to basically a couple yards, and that way I know if I got 202, I'm going to hit this club exactly this far. If it's a little into the wind, I move it back and aim a little more to the left, and that kind of will bring it down and hit it a little straighter. And then for most of the time, I just want it just forward to center.
Xander Schauffele gets a double mention for his steely mental strength and his excellent mid-irons.
Personally, when I'm a bit nervous, I like to sneak the ball a little further back, just get a little bit more shaft length, a little more compression, make sure I hit ball first, obviously. That's first and foremost. The big keys when I'm nervous is I sneak it back, and I tend to strengthen my grip, so keeping my forearms soft and everything sort of relaxed, taking a couple deep breaths is my key to hitting a good shot under pressure. I remember when I was an amateur or when I wasn't hitting as great, the higher up the numbers go and the flatter the face looks, the more intimidated you start to feel. Obviously these days, we've hit so many balls and we've had so many reps, it all doesn't seem to matter too much based on distance control. But to an amateur, yeah, if you can sort of wrap your head around the idea that the club is a little bit longer, and if you can just, make the same smooth swing as a short iron, you'd be good to go.
Justin Thomas has made the wedge game his forte in recent years, finding his numbers at just the right time.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing you have to kind of assess everything, the wind, the lie, the green, how you want it to spin, and where you want to leave it, and everything like that. And then once you can narrow down where you want to land it, then you have to figure out the wind and everything like that and how much that's going to play. And then you kind of get a number and the shot you're going to hit. And then that's just kind of my thought in my head is I want to hit a 110-yard little draw here. So that's just my process. It's like anything, just the difference in yardage is the difference in height, trajectory, spin, swing, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you're still just trying to hit that number.
Spain has a history of players with great short games, and Jon Rahm is continuing that tradition with his skills around the greens.
Well, 75 and in, it's a big gap because it's very different when you're hitting it from 75 and when you're hitting it from 30, right? It's a very big gap. If we're talking about closer to 75, obviously there's a lot of variables, but I think what makes me stand out a little bit, I think, is being able to drive it low with some spin, right? I mean, every time you can have a lower trajectory, you're gonna be more precise. You don't have to think about the direction so much. The ball's gonna
It's going to appear through the wind. If you hit it good or bad, it's not going to be as big of a difference, right? I think it's a lot more easy to predict and to control. But then, you know, the closer you get to the green, it all depends. I mean, it depends on so many things. I think it's just, I grew up being such a bad ball striker that I had to be good in something, right? So, you know, with the closest to the green was what I was better at.
Finally, our standout putter is a Swede with a famously tough practice regime.
Look at this, look at this! Oh, Alex Noren, brilliant!
Training of reading putts and starting the putts online. You do everything. You know, you make sure you can start it online. You can do that at home inside, but once you get out on the greens, you work on, you know, the right speed and picking the right line. You know, that's like more of a, you know, you need to do that often enough. You know, you can't just not do that for 3 weeks and think you can putt great.
Combine them all and you get the ultimate PGA Tour player, and we're certain these guys will have many more champagne moments in 2019.